Now I want to go ahead and bring in Guy Beveridge. He does school safety training across the country, but is based here in Central Texas. Guy, thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks, Todd.
All right, let's go ahead and jump right in. I want to break down a bit of this footage we've seen coming in from Nashville. Clip one here is footage of the shooter actually pulling up to the school. Let's break this down a little bit at surveillance video just from what you see. Here she's pulling in the parking lot.
Sure, you know, this is one of the most critical areas when you talk about active shooter, where we want to monitor the best and the farthest away. And now you can see obviously shooting through the glass, not bullet resistant glass of any sort right there. And that's very typical. That's not atypical. And then coming through the doors here. Doors were locked. That's all great. We definitely want to see that. And then what happens on the inside, we want to see, you can see the shooter coming.
Yeah, she'll come through here.
Yep, kind of roaming the hallways. Good coverage, good camera coverage so far. And then now you see the alarm going off. You can kind of see the flashing up in the top. I think what I heard from some of the cops there is that one of the students pulled the fire alarm.
Yes, one of the 9-year-olds who was killed, actually. As she makes her way around the school here, it really looks like she's just looking for potential targets.
That's right, and so this is great. We want to see this. We want to see everybody behind a locked door, lights out, everybody quiet, no targets. We really want to reduce the number of targets. That's how we're going to start getting better at this, at least from this level.
All right, I want to go into clip 2 here. This is the police response arriving some 14 minutes later. What are you seeing here?
So the keys right there is the first thing. If you would go back a little bit, you would see someone from the school meeting them out there, giving them the keys, giving them the access they need, because a lot of these doors are going to be locked. Keys are going to be critical, and then getting some input from the person that's live there on the ground. These guys are heroes for sure. You can see some of their equipment and their tactics. They really don't have what's called a driving force right now, meaning there's no active gunshots going on, so they're doing a little bit more methodical search. And until they get that driving force or some more intel that says where the shooter is, this is the necessary part, where it looks like the police are slowing down a little bit.
Right, so they're going from classroom to classroom here. Then I think they get word that she's in kind of a common area up on the second floor.
Yeah, and I do want to point out this scope that you see here. This is an LPV scope. This is a low power variable optic scope, and this is going to be very critical when they get up to the second floor. Having the techniques and the tactics and the equipment right here, because this will be for a long hallway, and that's where they actually start engaging the shooter. And they call up the person that has that scope. So they know that capability is already there. They call that person up because they know they have that scope, and they really do a really good job. This is really textbook response right here.
Obviously, this is all from this week. No two situations are the same, but a lot of people, rightfully or wrongfully so, are contrasting this with the response in Uvalde.
Yeah.
I know you tracked that response pretty closely. What are some of the key differences you see?
Obviously, you know, we do get the rush in, and these cops were on scene a lot quicker than the 14 minutes we saw there. Obviously, the 14 minutes didn't matter because we had a better result. Here, there's a lot of confusion, and in Uvalde, we understand after we unpacked all this, nobody seemed to really be in charge.
I mean, you can just kind of see it. Guys looking around.
Sure. You know, and it's scary for us as law enforcement as well, and we try to diffuse the responsibility or diffuse that fear. But in these situations, we have the training, we go, and it's kind of like being a tactical plumber. If you walked into your house today and there's water on the floor, you don't go get a mop first. You got to go shut the water off first, and that's what they should be doing here, going and fixing that leak, and then we'll worry about the cleanup side of it later.
Final question here. Looking at the two videos, do you think the clear difference is just a clear plan leadership?
It's got to be leadership, and there's got to be people that have the right spirit to do this. You know, you're running towards gunfire. It's abnormal. It's not in you to do that, but you signed up to do the job. You can't just get a badge and a gun and do nothing. You've signed up to do it. Otherwise, you're just a bully with a badge and a gun.
Yeah. All right, Guy Beveridge, thanks for giving us a few minutes.
Thanks, Todd.